We'll see the bore recharge system using rainwater harvesting that we have implemented in our farm. We have taken the help of Devraj Reddy from Chitradurga, Karnataka, who came all the way with his team to provide the technical support and guidance for this system. The system has been implemented based on what they have seen to be very successful in several states in India. We had dug a bore of around 600 feet and we didn't get any water. We didn't want to dig further, and we thought that we should look at alternative options without drawing too much water from the earth. And then we came across Devraj Reddy, and we found his ideas to be very useful and sustainable. And then we contacted him, and he kindly agreed to come to our place. Our land is in Siddipet district of Telangana. He kindly agreed to come all the way to our place and then help us with this project. Our main aim is that we return back to the earth whatever we are taking from the earth, or even more than what we are taking from the earth, so that there is a balance between what we take from the earth and what we give back to the earth. There's quite a bit of confusion around it because people were telling us to go for a greater depth up to 1000 feet. We didn't feel comfortable with that. Then people said that you cannot recharge this particular bore. We did a tanker test and we found that up to 5000 liters of water was possible to we could put in about 5000 liters of water. And then Mr. Devraj Reddy was the person who said that we can definitely recharge this, and we'll see how it was done. Before starting the work, they do an assessment of the land, the contours of the land, the slopes of the land, and the structure of the land, and then they start the process. There are 4 types of stones that are used to put in the pits: boulder stones, and then 40 millimeter stones, 20 millimeter stones, and 6 millimeter stones. A JCB is used to dig a pit around the bore and to go to as much depth as possible depending on the rock structure underneath it. Luckily we were able to go to almost 6 to 7 feet depth. Even though there was a bit of rock that was protruding, we are lucky enough that we could get to that depth. Once the pit is dug and ready, then they fix a clamp towards at the base of the casing, and they fix it with cement, and then they do the drilling in the casing pipe. And after the drilling of the casing pipe, they put 3 layers of mesh around the casing pipe, and they fill that and they tie it and fix it very properly. The mesh is to prevent any solid particles, silt, dust, soil, sand, all those things from flowing into the casing, into the bore. After that, they start putting the stones, initially the big boulder stones, then the 40 millimeter stones, and then the 20 millimeter stones. On top of the 20 millimeter stones, they then again put a layer of mesh, which again prevents any solid particles from flowing down. And so only water will percolate down into the pit below that level and through the. So there's 2 layers of filtration, one mesh on top of the stones and another the mesh around the casing pipe, which will prevent any solid particles from getting into the bore. On top of the mesh, on top of the 20 millimeter stones, then they place the 6 millimeter stones. Then we lay a cement bed around the sides of the pit, and then build a wall, a retaining wall, up to 2 feet a retaining wall, so that water, it prevents any silt or sand or anything from flowing into the pit. Then we constructed the inlet and outlet pipes systems, mainly the inlet flow for water to flow into the pit, and if excess water is there to flow out of the pit as well. And this was dug and you can lay it with stones at different heights, so that clear water will flow over and forms like a small check dam and flows over and then enters it. It again prevents silt and soil from entering into the pit. What we are planning to do is to put Vattiveru, or Ramacham as we call it. Vattiveru or Ramacham, we plant that so that it prevents soil erosion. It also cleans the water, and clean water flows into the pit. So these are, you can see the trenches on both sides, and then The trenches are dug based on the contour of the land, so allowing for flow of rainwater into the pit. What we are trying to do is minimize the flow of any muddy water as well as silt and soil into the pit. And we are planning to use, but for that we are not yet planted it. We have got it. We have to now start planting it. There are a few important things that we should consider. One, that if you have dug a bore and we have put a casing pipe. Whether you get water or don't get water, put a casing pipe. Once you put the casing pipe, don't remove it. Even if you didn't get water, not even moisture, don't remove the casing pipe, because you can always look to recharge the bore with rainwater. So don't remove the casing pipe. Second, bore recharge is a very good thing to do, even if you have got a successful bore. If you have got a failed bore, if you have got a bore that has never touched water, think of a bore recharge system using rainwater, so that you can minimize the use of water from the earth. Rainwater, if your bore is successful also, the rainwater recharge will help refill the aquifers from which you are drawing water. So it's a good thing to happen. If you have not touched water at all, you didn't even get moisture, still you can look at the possibility of a bore recharge using rainwater harvesting system, so that you can at least use the rainwater, collect and use the rainwater, and that helps the land also, it helps the earth also. So always remember, do not remove the casing pipes. Consider bore recharge. Whatever type of bore you have, please consider a bore recharge system using rainwater harvesting. It's not very costly. It's something that can be done. Dr. Devaraj Reddy's team has done this in several states in India, in the southern states, several parts of the southern states of India, and it's been a very successful program. It's mostly very successful. So kindly consider this. We will be now trying to assess the water. It's just before the rainy season, so we'll be trying to assess the water level in the bore and then see how much it is increasing and how far it's increased. We're looking at a slow, steady progress. We're not looking at miracles immediately overnight. It should fill and overflow, things like that. We're looking at slow, steady progress as the rain builds, and more importantly, we are looking to collect and use the rainwater. And this is a very excellent system that can really work. So please consider using this. And our sincere thanks to Devaraj Reddy and his team for all the patience and guidance and traveling a long distance to come to our place and guide us through this whole process. We hope that more people will consider this and do this. We'll update later as we see the success of this, as we see the progress of water recharging, and then we will update later.
Hello, my name is Kavita. This farm is in Hyderabad, Siddipet district. So initially we dug a bore, as everyone does, with all enthusiasm. In the bore you can see, and we have dug it till 600 feet and nothing happened. So we were very upset as to what is the way forward, and then we were wondering how do we proceed. So around the same time we were also trying to look at the other possibilities of a farm pond or other ways of working out a water source. So in that process we have come across Dr. Devaraj Reddy's video, which made a big difference in our way of looking at the whole scenario, and we approached him. He belongs to Chitradurga, Karnataka, and he's a hydrogeologist who is working more than 3 decades towards this rain harvesting system, and we felt a hope that something can be done and then to make our situation better. So we tried approaching him, and then promptly we got the response, and then here we are, where with his technical team he came to our farm, took the effort to come to our farm, and he made this recharge pit. So this is how the structure looks now. we are hopeful that with rains coming in, the rainy season around, that we will be able to catch some water, and then that might make a difference to the water source in our farm. Through this video, we would like to thank Dr. Devraj Reddy for all the concern and meticulous details that he has given in when he is here, and then we would like to thank his team and especially for the motto that he is working towards, and this is what we wanted to share with you all. If this video can make a difference to any or some of you, I think that is what